Derek Chauvin update, prison stabbing, appeals, sentence length, and where he is now. Derek Chauvin, convicted of murdering George Floyd, was stabbed in prison and is now serving his sentence in a different facility. He's the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd, remains a central figure in conversations about police accountability. This article covers recent developments in Chauvin's legal status, including his federal and state sentences, the November 2023 prison stabbing, and ongoing appeals. Floyd's death, captured in a widely circulated bystanders video, showed him pleading for his life, repeatedly saying, "I can't breathe," while Chauvin continued to apply pressure to his neck. The video also documented bystanders urging officers to check Floyd's pulse as he became unresponsive. Floyd's death sparked global protests. In April 2021, Chauvin was found guilty of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter.
Before, you need coffee, baby?
Before Floyd's death, get that in. Chauvin served nearly 20 years as a Minneapolis police officer. After the incident, his policing record came under scrutiny, revealing numerous citizen complaints and prior use of force incidents. His actions significantly impacted American policing, spurring reforms like stricter use of force policies, increased emphasis on de-escalation training, and broader adoption of body-worn cameras across law enforcement agencies nationwide.
I'm glad they stabbed him. He deserves it. That's my synopsis. I'm going to keep it simple myself. I know Michelle has more to say about it. But I think we both agree that that's ripple effect. That's ripple effect.
That was going to happen. He was stabbed 22 times by fellow inmate John Tursak at the Federal Correction Institute in Tucson, Arizona.
He poked him 22 times?
Tursak, a Mexican mafia gang member, attacked Chauvin with an improvised knife in the prison's law library. Tursak has been charged with attempted murder, assault with intent to murder, and assault with a dangerous weapon. Chauvin sustained serious injuries but survived after receiving immediate medical attention. Following the stabbing, he was transferred to the Federal Correctional Institute in Big Spring, Texas, a low-security federal prison. He continues to serve his concurrent sentences there with heightened security measures in place to ensure his safety.
I hope somebody beats his ass today.
He's serving a 22.5-year state sentence for murder and a 21-year federal sentence for violating Floyd's civil rights. The sentences are being served concurrently, meaning they overlap. With credit for time served and standard reductions, his projected release date is 2037.
Damn, dude's getting out in 12 years?
I guess. In November of 2023, the Supreme Court declined to hear his appeal, effectively upholding his state conviction.
His ass should never get out.
He's currently seeking to overturn his federal conviction, arguing ineffective assistance of counsel and requesting to examine perceived tissue samples from George Floyd's autopsy. Legal experts generally consider Chauvin's remaining legal avenues limited, and the likelihood of overturning his convictions is viewed as slim.
I wish nothing but the worst for you, Derek Chauvin. Back to the episode, y'all. Well, wait, Michelle, how many more sleeps do we got? Is it 1 or 2? Because it's Thursday.
It's Thursday, so
2?
1 more sleep till Friday, but Friday's a work day, so actually 2 more sleeps till the weekend.
So you ain't got to open your eyes and, all early in the morning and get up.
Yeah.
And go do stuff. So, yeah, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. We did a crime time from last night.
That was wild.
Yeah, this one guy, he murdered, was it his roommate?
His roommate,
His roommate, and then hid his body parts in like bags and stuff and had them all like scattered throughout the house and stuff. And then the roommate, the deceased's sister and brother had came over there looking for him and stuff like that. The sister went inside the house and said she saw some blood and stuff and some bags or whatever. Came back out, told the police. The guy was kind of BSing them around, like
shifty.
Playing games. Yeah, he was acting real shifty. Didn't want them to go in. He was talking about he needed a cigarette and all this other shit. So they finally ended up going in the house, and you guys will hear the rest. So it's a 4-parter. Like, we did one part, and then we did, like, back to the episode, and then we did second part. So it's just mixed in throughout the episode until the end. So just know
I think
that
that
that's
guy
coming.
was, like, tweaking or something. He almost looked like he was on meth or...
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you almost have to be to chop somebody up like that, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't just pass out when the police showed up. Like you said, just the anxiety and just his blood level had to be shot through the roof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anticipating them going in there and shit. You see that police car roll up, you know, you just done murder somebody. Dude, like, ugh. And then to chop them up and put them in bad, that's what I'll be saying, like, and I'm not trying to make it racial, but I'm just saying, like, and I'm not saying when black people kill somebody, I'm not saying that's okay. It's not. Any death is wrong. But I'm saying, but most of the times when somebody black shoots somebody, harms somebody, something like that, 9 times out of 10, it's money related.
Or it's like a beef or something.
Or it's some kind of beef, right? You know what I mean? And like we're not saying that's okay, but we're just saying like it's usually like some kind of something emotional or some kind of money. You know what I mean?
Not just random.
It's not just random and shit. And then it's just like a lot of times it seems like when white people kill people, not all, but a lot, they just do the extra. They don't just kill the person. They kill them, cut their legs off, their arms, put them in bags, throw them in the river, cut the head off, save the head. Where's Sade Robinson's head? Speaking of that, I'm not even...
to be disrespectful,
not
but
one
where is
bit.
the head?
Not one, yep, exactly.
And
like, where's her head at?
We were talking about the other day, because his trial is coming up next month.
Dude needs to just start being honest about this shit.
I mean, wouldn't you try to... I mean, they have you dead to rights, right?
Yep.
So wouldn't you try to use that as a bargaining chip, not to be insensitive, but...
You would think so.
Wouldn't you be like, okay, I'll tell you where the head is if you don't, you know, if you, like, give me less of a sentence or something. Or, like, just do the right thing. You know?
At this point, yeah.
Like, do the right thing.
You might save yourself about 5 little years or something. Just tell them where the head is.
I don't know.
Because clearly they haven't found it. Because that would have been reported.
Yes.
You know? So.
But, like, if he put it in the river or the lake, it could literally be anywhere.
Man,
with current conditions and stuff, it could just be literally anywhere.
I was thinking about that the other day.
And then at this point, it would just be a skull.
Yeah.
So.
Think of all the, like, because you know, like, how we sometimes go and we look for the, like, missing cases and stuff like that, and then there's always, like, a sub-heading or part where they talk about unidentified people, like, where their bodies have been found, but they're unidentified.
Yeah.
That's That's even crazier to me.
That nobody's missing you.
Right? Like, and some of these would be, like, they'll be from, like, the 80s or 90s, and it'll be like, man, like, this person still has not been identified? Like, not one person on this earth is looking for them, for their son, their daughter, their cousin, their nephew, their niece, their whatever.
And just imagine, like...
all the dead bodies scattered throughout this country.
Well, yeah. Like, every time we see a black bag on the side of the road or something, we always, both of us at the same time are like, that's a dead body. That's sick that we think that. But,
it's possible, though.
Yeah, but just I can't imagine having, like, a missing loved one and just never knowing. I mean, I wouldn't want them to be murdered or, you know, or unalived, but
you would want that closure.
I would want the closure.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We're gonna finish getting ready for work. Yep. All right, y'all. Take on your day, whatever day it is, and I think Michelle has some words of. She always has some good words of. You know what I mean? Whatever you call it, words of encouragement or whatever.
Let's just say, going into my workday knowing that somebody is drinking coffee that I made out of a Trump cup.
I didn't even think about that part.
I'm going to try and go into today with positivity. And I'm going to force myself to not try to figure out who it is.
You know,
because I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Buy a Kamala Harris. We should order a Kamala Harris mug or an Obama mug and put it there and see how that goes.
No, because my point yesterday when I complained about the mug was that I thought this was supposed to be a political free zone.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We'd be doing what.
I'm not lowering myself.
Because, in my opinion, I think a person left that cup there on purpose. Just maybe so people would see it. Even if it wasn't like all faced and how you could see it right away. I think that person left that there on purpose so people would just see it and be like, oh, shit, what's this?
And I disagree because of the way it was turned. It was turned facing away from view. I turned it to see it, but it was like they had clearly washed it because it was like upside down on a paper towel.
Do you think it was a man or a woman? It was probably a white adult male.
There's not a lot of white adult males on my end.
Dang, it was a white adult female.
I don't know, but I'm gonna try because like yesterday, I thought about like kind of walking around and seeing who was drinking out of what. But at the same time, it's not obvious. Like people aren't out in the open, so I would have to like really be peeking and perping, and I didn't want to. I don't want to know because I feel like that'll just make me like.
It's gonna make you be looking at whoever it is.
Maybe not like that person, but I would think differently of them.
Shit, I definitely would not like them.
And so I don't want to know that because I don't want it to like affect your
day. Oh shit, we got some Prince here, y'all. Prince is better than Michael Jackson. I don't care what nobody said.
This is one of the songs.
Yeah.
It's Havoc, y'all. This was called Always Have a Choice. Life is about choices.
1, 2, 1, 2. Turn my mic up a little bit. I need them to hear this. Yeah, ashes to ashes, I'm in love with asses. How you chasing pussy but don't see that money passing past you? How would you answer if I asked you? How long you think that silly living gonna last you? And where you see yourself in like 5 years? Time fly, you not dealing with like years. Need a bright idea, didn't take me out of here, but misery want my company. And I asked it what it want from me. My focus, it'll eat up any ambition like locusts. I can never see myself being on that broke shit. Pride way down, thinking how to ever blow this. And them OGs know this, but we laugh when they approach us. Experience is the best coaches, so I'ma listen mouth shut and ears open. I did it 9-5 in a YouTube era. I'm bent on camera, catching all of my errors. Drunk saying things that I wouldn't say normally. Disrespecting rappers that I adored enormously. It was me, but then it wasn't me. A certain reason why these hoes only wanted me. Looking for the truth, but it was right in front of me. I want love, but I wasn't even loving me.
Peace and blessings, y'all. This is DVJ and Michelle. It's Thursday, April 24th, y'all, 2025. Yeah, it is Thursday. What does Michelle say? One more sleep until the weekend. I'm about to just get this coffee going. Shout out Gut Health. This is the 4 Sigmatic Gut Health Organic Coffee. Yeah, really feeling this stuff right now. This is either the second or third day using it, and I'm noticing that my stomach is not irritable at all. Like, you know what I mean? Because, you know, coffee can make your stomach real acidy and stuff like that, and especially early in the morning, that's, you know, probably not the best way to get your stomach off to a start or whatever, but definitely noticing that my stomach is less acidy in the morning and stuff like that. So I think that might be a main issue for a lot of us, right? If you're a coffee drinker, you know, you drinking coffee early in the morning, that can really get your stomach going and stuff like that, especially if you make it stronger, you know, or if you're using like the dark roast or whatever and stuff like that. So I'm noticing, I think this is either the second or third day using it, and I'm noticing that my stomach is less acidy. Yeah, so I'm appreciating that. Bag was $15, but it's worth it. So yeah, just up now, got the coffee going, just watching the news. Yeah. I hope life's treating everyone well. Sorry, that was a pause, a delay there in conversation. I've literally been up I don't even think I've been up 10 minutes yet. We got this coffee going. Y'all might can hear it brewing. All right, y'all. We'll say enjoy the music, the clips, and the content. You know what I mean? We got a nice one in store for y'all today. And we would just ask that you listen to our podcast with an open mind. And like I said, we finally settled in on a new logo. So the one that you see currently up there right now, that will be our official logo. You know what I mean? And we don't plan on changing it anytime soon. All right, y'all. So I'm just going to get myself cleaned up, take these dogs outside, take myself a shower, and maybe have a cigarette or something. But we'll get to this episode. And as always, enjoy the music, clips, and content. And enjoy your upcoming weekend, y'all. All right, peace. We broke down an episode, right? It was a pullover. Y'all know we call it the pullovers. When it's like crime time, we talk about like crime stories or whatever. Or we talk about if there might be some racial elements to the story or whatever, you know what I mean? We discuss that. You know, we may discuss the white privilege that, you know, some white individuals receive when they're being, you know, arrested or pulled over by the police and stuff like that. So, you know, and we don't do it to be funny. We do it to show, you know, the contrast or whatever, like the difference, you know, versus when a black person gets pulled over versus when a white person gets pulled over. You know what I mean? But, so we did a 4-parter, right? So there's going to be 4 separate parts. You'll hear a few minutes of this case of an individual. I won't tell you about it, but there's some, you know, one of the terrible crime stories. You know what I mean? Gentleman had a dead body parts, you know, buried in bags and stuff like that all throughout his house, shit like that. So guess he killed his roommate or whatever, and like chopped his body up and stuff and put it in bags and stuff like that. And so we did a episode about that. We put it in 4 different segments. So you'll hear like, you know, the first part of it, and then we'll get to other, you know, topics of today's episode, and then we'll just filter it in and out. But there will be 4 different segments of it until, you know, you get to the end of today's episode, and you'll hear the result of how that ended up. So I just wanted to make people aware of that, because you'll be hearing 4 different scenarios with that case. You know what I mean? There'll be a couple minutes of it, boom, and then we'll get back into the regular scheduled episode with other clips and content and stuff, and music and all that, and then boom, and then randomly we'll get into part 2 of it. So I just wanted to give y'all a heads up so y'all know what you're listening for, and you're not like, what's this, you know what I mean? So anyways, I'm rambling. All right, y'all, let's get to this episode, and thanks for listening. And we'll do some shout-outs. We'll shout out states later and countries and stuff like that of who's listening. All right, y'all. I know people are like, dude, will you stop talking, man? God damn, I'm sick of your voice. All right, y'all. Peace. Let's get to this episode.
Girlfriend, King Marie, yeah. So, Kay called and she says, Richie is not here. I says, oh, well, he actually did mention that he wanted to do some camping or something without her cell phone and stuff.
So this crazy dude that you hear talking, he's got a dead body inside, and the deceased sister, and who's the person with her?
It's like the sister and brother of the decedent.
So they want to go inside and look around and shit, and he's just basically stalling them, just talking bullshit, making stuff up. So here we go.
Oh, yes. Actually, the cat does need her medication and stuff. Are you familiar with her medication? Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Come on in. Just a minute. The cat. Yeah, let's go get a smoke, but,
you and I are going to go to the smoke. Come on, let's go, man.
Actually, I would actually like 3 smokes.
Well, if I find some, I'll give you some.
Yeah. I'm telling you right now.
Come on, dude. Come on. Come on. Come on, bro.
Please, let's go. No, but listen, I'm telling you that.
We're going to get smoke, huh?
Well, no.
I'm going to see if I got one.
What? It's not a good idea.
Well, let's get some smoke stuff.
Well, but you're not listening. Oh, my God. I don't exactly know what's going on. But, like, do you see any smoke?
I'm going to go look for one, yeah.
Oh, that would be swell. I haven't had smoke for...
Sometimes I have them in my car.
Or so.
He knows they're about to find that dead body. He wants to make sure he gets his last little cigarette in. So they entered the house and stuff, but he's basically just still stalling them. I think the dead body might be upstairs somewhere or some shit, maybe. So this is out of Washington State, I think.
Sometimes I have them stairs lying around to the side of the door. Right, sure.
Off camera, Richard's family searched the house but couldn't find him anywhere. However, when they checked Nicholas's bathroom, they discovered a heavy trash bag with patches of blood on it.
No, I didn't say that. I just don't have one.
No, I completely understand. But I'm trying to... I really don't think it's a good idea for... what am I talking about? They're going to do whatever they want because they're family. And so, yeah.
Oh. Officer, would you come here, please?
Well, what's going on? Why'd you come out here and tell me?
Why do you... I didn't tell you. I'm not saying nothing.
No, I'm talking to her.
No, but it's not... I'm trying to...
Is there a bag in the bathtub upstairs with bloody... I'm not sure. Something.
Okay. Did you find your family member? Okay. All right. Okay.
So these are some recent notable cases and prosecutions of white supremacy individuals or groups, crime suspects or whatever, currently in the United States, you know what I'm saying, that are currently going through the judicial system. So these are some recent notable cases and prosecutions. In Los Angeles, California, October 2024, federal prosecutors charged 68 individuals associated with white supremacist gangs in a large-scale operation targeting violent and drug-related crimes. California, September 2024, 2 alleged leaders of a white supremacist group were charged with using Telegram platform to incite violence against Black, Jewish, LGBTQ, and immigrant communities, aiming to provoke a race war. Telegram network. This decentralized neo-Nazi network has been linked to over 24 criminal cases globally. In the U.S., individuals connected to Telegram have faced charges ranging from plotting attacks on infrastructure to soliciting hate crimes. Charlottesville, Virginia. The trial of Jacob Joseph Dix commenced nearly 7 years after the 2017 white nationalist rally at the University of Virginia. He is the first to be tried under a Virginia law criminalizing the burning of objects to intimidate others. That's from AP News, Wikipedia, Reuters, and CNN. Reports from organizations like Anti-Defamation League, or ADL, highlight the persistent threat posed by white supremacist violence. In 2023, for instance, all documented extremist-related murders in the U.S. were committed by right-wing extremists, with 15 of the 17 killings involving individuals with white supremacist affiliations. That's from the Stanford Law School. While these cases underscore the ongoing efforts to address white supremacist crimes, the absence of a comprehensive tracking system means the full scope of such prosecution remains difficult to quantify. Trial begins for man charged in 2017 Charlottesville torch rally at the University of Virginia. This is from the AP from U.S. News. 7 years after a white nationalist rally erupted in violence in Charlottesville, Virginia, a trial began Tuesday for one of about a dozen people charged with using flaming torches to intimidate counter-protesters. Prosecutors at the trial of Jacob Joseph Dix showed the juror graphic videos of 300 to 400 white nationalists marching through the campus of the University of Virginia, carrying torches, shouting Nazi slogans, and surrounding a much smaller group of racist counter-protesters in an event that ended in chaos and fighting between the two groups. But Dix's lawyer, Peter Frazier, told the jury nothing Dix did the night of August 11, 2017 was criminal, and that the chants he joined in, including, quote, "You will not replace us," were free speech protected by the First Amendment. Quote, "He didn't shake his torch or try to hit somebody with it," Frazier said. The case will provide the first test of a 2002 Virginia law that makes it a felony to burn something to intimidate and cause fear or injury or death. Lawmakers passed a law after the state Supreme Court ruled that a cross-burning statute used to prosecute Ku Klux Klan members was unconstitutional. If you want to check out more of that story, go check that out. That was from the Associated Press. And that was from last year. But just wanted to share that.
Yeah, go sit down. Go sit down.
They found the body upstairs in the house.
You can sit down. We are going to do something. Now, what I need you to do right now is I need you to go sit in your car. All right? We're going to do something. Can I get another officer here beside you? Sir, can I just start with your name, please?
Oh, yes. My name is Nicholas.
You went camping?
Yes, sir.
Did you go by himself?
I suppose he went with some people. I don't know who he went. He just said he went.
Oh, no, they didn't find the body yet. They found blood and something.
In the bag. I don't think they opened the bag.
Oh, they found a bag.
Yeah, but I don't think they opened the bag.
So his sister came out of there and said, yeah, she found a bag with blood all over it, and then came out and told the police. So they're about to go on up in there and open the bag, I guess.
So she went for his bathroom, and then I followed her in there.
Is their bathroom a common bathroom or just for him?
Just for him.
Okay.
So there is a common bathroom upstairs, but there's nothing in that one.
In the master bathroom.
In the master bathroom, that's his bedroom.
2 white trash bags coated in what I would assume is blood. Heavier, she picked it up by the edge with this hand, but heavier than, I'd say, 25 pounds of sugar, and one of the bags had,
Did you open them up? I tried to.
He said one of the bags was heavier than a 25-pound bag of sugar.
Out, something ripped out, which I wouldn't assume as well. And then there's probably ladder laid on the floor, smeared, dried, like it's attempted.
And then did you guys go in the garage and look at his car?
The car's there, but I didn't see
opened the door and
I go inside and look inside the garage.
No, I didn't.
The truth was,
You don't have a firearm or anything in the house, do you?
I know it.
Where is it?
It's not broken or anything. Yeah.
So dude shot dude in the back of the head and shit or whatever, ended up cutting his body up and shit, and has his body parts all over through the house.
Magazine, maybe you call it.
Where's the magazine? In the gun?
No, I think I cleared it out, you know.
You think you carried it?
I think so, yeah. But, yeah,
He said, I think I cleared it out. Yeah, by shooting the guy in the head.
I don't know anymore.
Why are you worried about shooting the kid? Why are you bringing that up?
I don't know. You know how that works?
What works?
And insanity? Yes.
Temporary insanity. Why are you talking about temporary insanity?
I don't know.
No, I'm asking you why you said those things.
I have no idea.
You don't know why you said?
I'm not sure.
I did this fifth.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have any? You don't have your gun on you right now, do you?
Absolutely not.
I see you have a knife in your pocket.
Do I have a knife?
Yeah, you have a knife.
Oh, yes, it's a military knife. Oh, no, this is just one of those.
For my safety, can I save it for you for a little bit?
Yep.
Check this out.
And Lowe's had a private meeting with Trump. But get this, we are also reporting today that a group of CEOs of the top American retailers, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's, had a private meeting with Trump on Monday.
Video's a minute,
they
16
had plenty
seconds.
to say, but there was one warning that stuck out. Empty shelves, they said. Empty shelves in American stores as soon as this summer because of Trump's actions.
It is that meeting in the Oval Office on Monday that we learned about, and other reporters did as well, that really apparently caught the president's attention. And I am told that business leaders, the Business Roundtable and others have been reaching out to White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wild and other advisors here, trying to get a meeting with the president, trying to convey to him in real terms the real fallout of some of this uncertainty, some of these tariff policies. And it was that empty shelves comment, we are told, that really caught the president's attention. Of course, you can see why. The whole idea that we would have interruption in the supply chain, sort of like we all saw in the pandemic, simply because of his policies, is something that would be difficult for the White House to endure. So that is one of the reasons we are told that he changed his posture. It's interesting.
You can't say no. You can't tell.
Alright, y'all, let's get back to this episode.
Moving along until you get out of your hair, right? The family's obviously gone upstairs to check on their loved one.
Yeah.
Right? And they found some stuff that made them a little afraid.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know.
Because he isn't here and you live here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We want to ask you, right, if it's cool if we go inside and check on his things.
I mean, I don't know. I have not been up here. I have not been here lately. I've been out and about trying to do DoorDash and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, I live here. Yeah.
So we want to go upstairs, right, and look in the master bedroom where it's your roommate's bedroom for him, just to check on him and see what's in there. All right?
Yeah. If that's what. Yeah. Yep. I mean, wait. You want to go upstairs and do what?
We're checking to make sure everybody's okay.
We'll go by all means, like, make sure everybody's okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I just heard a lot of, like, movement. I thought something was happening over there. I was just like, okay, whatever. It sounded like something was hitting the wall.
What time was that?
I want to say it was, like, probably midnight. Or, like, yeah.
We'll just gotta decide something real quick.
I'm not so sure going in right now would be a good idea, actually.
This one's out of Florida. So, a death row inmate who killed a Florida corrections officer during a 2003 escape attempt granted new sentencing trial. Dwight Eaglin, this is a white gentleman, who killed corrections officer Darla Latham and an inmate during a failed escape, will face a new sentencing phase under Florida's revised death penalty law. This was updated April 3rd, 2025 at 4:23 p.m. by Sarah Roebuck. So this is out of Charlotte County, Florida. A death row inmate convicted in the 2003 killing of a corrections officer and an inmate during an attempted escape from Charlotte Correctional Institution has been granted a new penalty phase trial. Dwight Eaglin, who is currently housed at Florida State Prison, has been granted a new penalty phase trial, according to Gulf Coast News. Trial proceedings are scheduled to start in June. Eaglin was already serving a life sentence for a 1998 murder when he and another inmate launched a failed escape from the Charlotte Correctional Institution in Punta Gorda. During that attempt, Eaglin fatally stabbed corrections officer Darla Latham and fellow inmate Charles Fuston. Latham, 38, was supervising a late-night maintenance crew when she was ambushed. She was the first female corrections officer in Florida to be killed in the line of duty, according to Officer Dow Memorial page. Eaglin was sentenced to death in 2006 for the killings. The new trial comes as Eaglin challenges Florida's current death penalty law, which allows a death sentence if it is at least 8 out of 12 jurors recommend it. This law, signed by Governor Ron DeSantis in 2023, replaced the previous requirement of a unanimous jury decision, an issue England's defense says should not apply retroactively to his case. While the guilty verdict remains intact, the upcoming trial will give a new jury the task of deciding whether Eaglin will remain on death row or serve a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Following Officer Latham's death, scrutiny fell on staffing policies at Florida prisons. A Herald Tribune report noted that she had been supervising 5 inmates alone during a nighttime construction detail. Latham, who was 38 at the time of her death, was struck in the head with a sledgehammer, by inmates during the escape attempt and left in a mop closet at the Charlotte Correctional Institution. Her radio and keys were later found discarded in a prison toilet. Latham was remembered by colleagues as a light in a dark world. So, we'll see what happens with that. It says Eaglin's retrial highlights ongoing legal ripples following changes to the state's capital punishment framework. Florida is one of only a few states that does not require a unanimous jury for death sentences. a ship that has drawn legal challenges and national attention. So y'all will keep an eye out for that. Let's get back to the episode, though.
He didn't tell me about it, but yeah, I think it'd be best not to go and...
Oh, you don't want to sue in there?
No, I don't think it'd be a good idea.
Is there a reason for that?
I know there's no reason. It's just I still gotta probably go back to work and stuff. And so I didn't do nothing. I'm not under arrest or anything like that.
Not under arrest.
It's concerned with family, which makes sense to me too.
Yeah, I mean they're concerned that. Hey, Dietrich, he changed his mind. Yeah, they saw some stuff inside that's concerning. Okay, so we want to go inside and make sure that everybody's okay. They saw some blood and stuff like that, so they're concerned that their family member could be hurt.
What I'm thinking is, I'm not gonna think of anything. Yeah.
But you don't want us going in there?
No,
you're not gonna give us consent?
I don't think there's no reason to. Wait. 5 or 6 months or so.
Oh, that's it? Where were we at before? Were you still here in Federal Way, or were you in a different city?
Yeah, something. I don't really recall where I was exactly. It was 702.
You work at Jimmy John's? Yeah, but JJ thought that was Jimmy John's.
Oh, yeah, no. That's just so hot. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. I do DoorDash.
Oh, okay. Do you like it?
Do I like it? Good days and bad days.
It's like every job, man.
Yes.
It's you that can determine if it is a good day. Don't let other people determine if it's going to be a bad day.
Yes and no. I'm going to get a coat. I'm going to go get a coat on. Can I do that?
You're going to get a coat on? I would prefer a no.
Fine. Why not?
I don't want you to go back inside right now until we can figure out what's the issue.
Now, because we didn't find, or you guys didn't find, a human being, and that removes kind of our authority to go in for a welfare check, right? The law says that if we have reason to believe that somebody's life is in imminent risk of death or bodily harm, that kind of stuff, then we can go in right away and make sure that everybody is safe. Okay? Because that doesn't exist right now, what we're doing is we have to follow the law. Right? He's asking,
Mind if I go in with you?
Sure, come on. Yeah, you can stand at the door.
Where's the coach at?
There's a gun on his head.
Never mind. Don't go back in yet.
I'm done.
I can't walk in with you to get the coat, right?
No, I was trying to...
The reason why I don't want you inside right now is supposedly there's a gun inside.
Yeah, it's upstairs, but it's fine. And oh my goodness. So...
He's not allowed in there.
You're not allowed in there.
Cool. All right. You know what? Never mind. I don't need it. I'm fine.
I know you guys already in the process of work with the health, so I'll go back in.
Yeah, well, at this time, because our hope, obviously, is that everything's fine and who knows what that is no crime.
Really, really well.
That's our hope. But if in the event that that's not the case, we want to make sure that any evidence that we collect, anything that we find out, is done according to the law.
He seemed desperate.
Looking, right? Isn't that how people compete for?
Yeah, and that's how people pay outside.
Yeah, because that's what I have to do is beat. Come on, man.
They're finally putting the cuffs on him, and they're going to go in the house.
Time. What is...
For the second time.
Why do we have so many people around me?
So we're going to take you back to our station, have you talk to detectives. We're going to advise you to rights real quick.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't move.
No problem now.
You're not really doing so good.
Nicholas, you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right at this time to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish.
Dude's like, can I get that last cigarette?
To not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights as I've explained them to you? Nicholas, do you understand these rights as I've explained them to you?
He's thinking about them bags. He couldn't get out the house and shit.
Upon entering the property, the detectives found trash bags containing Richard's body parts in his room, as well as in several closets and the bathroom.
Lloyd Banks, produced by Havoc. Havoc's the best beat maker in the world, y'all.
Unlike no other glitches, stutter, whole performance is clean. Lyrics that built the last is warranties on all my 16s. This type of movie ain't for Tubi, I belong on big screens. I'm out of worldly, dropping 40, and it's always big queens. There's always more to every story, not at all how it seems. For those that's pocket watching, not to popping all out the seams. Remember everything you said, all names and call outs between. There ain't no stopping, once I start, I make it dark Halloween. Underrated to the masses, to my ego, I'm enormous. Tropic morning, shots with orange. You won't kicks to Martin Lawrence. My emergence is upon us. No more hints and dropping warnings. Rockets on us and they swarm us on the New York City corners. Shopping like a tourist, out in front and I'm flawless. Money over, they taught us, and I'm on my Calvin brothers. While you hating, I'm creating. You ain't had these styles before this. I'm a tourist.
Snoop Dogg a bitch, though.
That means you can trust me for life. I'm always honest, but when I'm on karma's nothing polite. Doing no seconds, homie, more than often shit don't go right. If you should check out early, I make sure your kids is alright. But if you cross me, you gonna have to cross me for life.
So I got a question, too, on the side. Is Lloyd Banks black? For you black and brown Trump supporters who are always questioning people's blackness. You know, it's people talking about Kamala's not black. Yes, she is. Jamaicans are black. They just got dropped off at a different spot, you know what I'm saying, during slavery times. Because, yeah, you know what I mean? Lloyd Banks is mixed. He's Jamaican and black. Carmelo Anthony, black and Puerto Rican. Is he not black? I'm asking you, Trump, black and brown Trump supporters, you're always questioning everyone's blackness. I question black Trump and Trump. Black Trump and, yeah, black and brown Trump supporters, I question your blackness. That's what I question.
Often shit don't go right. If you should check out early, I make sure your kids is alright. But if you cross me, you gonna have to cross me for life. There's no number for that blunder, I can't offer no price. Don't you try and do the lion and it's off with your lights. Sleeping's costly, any room I'm walking it right.
Devin and Dude,
They
y'all.
smoked and inhaled until they could smoke no more.
He's out of Houston, Texas. Underrated MC. Go check him out. He's a great storyteller, too.
Devin, higher than the stairway to heaven, Led Zeppelin. And yes, I got some weed on me if you're second guessing. I don't promote violence, but I do possess weapons for protection. Never stressing, just left a rap session. Now I'm jetting across Texas for a 10-pound blessing. But the traffic is thick. Is this fast as it gets? Kinda in a hurry, cause my girl is asking for dick. What a job, banging deep by brother Rob. Tight loops, alley oop, about to dunk another lob. Over 30 years, still pressing up records. Air fried funk, only take us just a second. Yeah. If was a fifth, we'd all be drunkards. If you ain't got a dick, then that's your uncle blowing skunk back in the day. But I no longer smoke Reiki. Legalize it like Peter Toxin. I'll promote every roller sweet in 50 seconds. See, I'm finished. Look, you roll one faster, you have to be in the Guinness book. I twist my own. You can't trust some Negroes. Don't know what's in it. You got to re-roll your pre-rolls. Gave you.
How much pain can Harvard absorb here?
We don't know how much we can actually absorb, but what we do know is that we cannot compromise on basic principles like defense of our First Amendment rights.
The truth of the matter is, he's telling the truth. He's
Paul
saying
Mooney.
what everybody else wants to say, wish they had the audacity to say. They just don't have the gall.
Africans, I can't stand that. Have attitude. Motherfuckers have attitude. You got attitude. You act like you mad at us. You got this shit twisted. We mad at you. That's why you don't see brothers hanging out with Africans. German Shepherd, Wolf. We look the same, but we ain't the same.
He's talking about how some, like Africans, look at us different. Remember we were saying in every race, it seems like there's people that don't like each other for whatever reason. All right, so this is just some random Paul Mooney clips, y'all. Gotta laugh a little bit. He talks about everybody, y'all.
Talk down to us. Fuck you. You ain't mad at us. We mad at you. We waited and nobody came for us. Chicken shit punk motherfuckers. Any other race would have declared war on America and asked for their people back. You motherfuckers wrote us off like a bad check. Then you gonna show up 500 years later with a briefcase full of watches. I don't need no motherfucking watch. I know what time it is.
He's a fake African. Watch him. All his friends think he's from Africa. He's actually from Harlem. His name is Jeffrey. Tell him to talk to you. Tell him to say something in his language. Go on. What's my language? He's a fake African.
I'm an Amtrak conductor. Work out of New York, live out of New York. Currently, I'm conducting train 143 en route to Washington. One of my illustrious guests, my friend, Mr. Paul Mooney, okay, he's riding along, and it's a pleasure to see him again. If anything, I laughed harder at the people leaving the club than at the jokes he was actually putting out there, because it just showed me how ignorant we still are in America. I mean, no matter if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, what have you, there's ways that there's humor in everything, you know, and Paul does not discriminate. He's going to be on the level with everybody.
You know what they call them honkies? They used to come out there in Harlem and honk their horns at the black prostitutes. They're great.
Oh my God.
It's two nappy-head black bitches with beads.
Even when he's joking, he's dead serious. So you'll smile and learn something at the same time.
Oh, no, some of you can't take me. Make that nigger. Stop saying nigger. I'm getting a nigger headache. I can't think.
Well, white folks, you fucked up. You shouldn't have made up nigger.
He's accurate. That's how white people would be thinking. When they hear black people sometime, they'll be like, oh my God, I wish they would just be quiet. They don't like our energy sometimes.
I can't remember what he said, but he could just...
Come on down, 911. It's a nigger on control. Nigger, don't you know this is the great white way? This is Broadway, nigger. You're talking all that wild nigger shit. Check the nigger out. Arrogant black bastard. I caught a bus from Kansas to see you. You entertained me to get that nigger a banjo.
He takes them from a place of utter silence and fear and has them just dying laughing.
What are your tap shoes, nigger? Entertain me. Check that nigger out right now.
He's just describing how white people look at us and view us a lot of the times. And I talk about it too, how like a lot of times white people, they just want to be entertained by us, whether it's basketball, football, music, you know what I mean? All right, y'all, back to the episode.